Hey filmmaker, Chung Dha here. In this video, I'm going to show you my process editing a event video. So it's also helpful for all you guys who are getting started with Premiere Pro to learn what I do and how I work. And first things, we have here two YouTube folders. One is basically on my external drive of my Western Digital, my passport. And another one is my Samsung T3 SSD. The main reason why these two are now open were actually copying a folder over from one hard drive to another. This ferry folder we're going to drop here. The main reason why we want to copy over from a HDD to an SSD is because an SSD actually loads files much faster, and for editing you want it to load a lot of the files and able to watch all the files. So with an HDD, the read speed isn't as fast as your SSD. SSD has like a 500 megabytes per second reading speed, while the other one is much lower. It should be around 100 something megabytes per second. So right now we're waiting it to copy over. Takes about a minute more. The other thing with, of course, because you are loading so many clips onto your timeline, you want to enable you to get like a smooth run through and see the entire video from front to back. But also, if you're editing on a PC, it's really recommended to have like an external SSD drive where you are working off from, and use like a HDD drive to save your files. So I have like the Western Digital, my passport, with 3 terabytes of space, so we can actually put quite a lot of files onto those. But with the Samsung T3, I have 1 terabyte with that. Right now there is also, of course, larger drives out there, but the price wise of the 1 terabyte is not that bad compared to the 2 terabyte version, which is much more expensive. So right now we finished copying it over. So now open Premiere Pro and have the official CC2018 opening. And here we're actually already I made a project, but let's make a new one. So we're going to click here, new project. Pretty much all these settings I don't change, and scratches, all these are set to same as project. Ingest I've turned off because I don't want it to load every time when I'm adding an effect. Plus my system can handle it, especially with the SSD. And I'm going to choose this, going to into the T3, go to my YouTube, and should be a ferry folder. Going to make choose here and change this to collab Asia and press OK. Now Premiere Pro should start entirely, and you might see this is actually the standard layout, and personally I've made a personal layout called CD Edit. You can actually find a link in the description below if you want to change the layout of your Premiere Pro. There's a different video where I explain that. So to import media, you can either go to here and double click and then import like this, or you could also drag the folder into this section. But the option that I chose is one that you can do, and other option is here above. There's also import over here, but it's grayed out because we're importing here. will take a bit of a moment for this to load. And the main thing with it loading, it's not just only loading the files into the program, but it's also checking the audio source, and also when it finishes importing here, it should be on here on the side. It should start to say that it's checking the audio or converting the audio. And of course, all the XML files of the Sony camera it doesn't recognize. Should be okay. It doesn't actually say that. So then I shot with the Sony a7R II with the 28mm f2 with the wide angle adapter. So what we actually gonna start is, of course, make a new sequence. Here it says drop media to create sequence. Personally, I don't really do that. I always make a sequence from here. So go here in the project bin or project tab, go to the new item, select sequence, and here I've personally made my own custom setting. So it's really dependable on your own output, what you want to have. There's a lot of people says like or praise 24p. I'm not really for that. Yeah, I don't, and actually many people don't see the difference between 24 and 25 frames per second. And also the main things, I film between 25 and 50 frames per second. So this is gonna be enough for me, and it also makes it quite easy to change and slow-mo. And also with 24p, yeah, actually if your video is so good and the TV channel wanted to show it, 24p is not really a TV broadcast frame rate, and 25p PAL is. So mainly mine is actually always ready for yeah, TV broadcast output. The frame size nowadays I output in 2.5K, so that's 140 or 1440p, but that is like a personal preference. The main reason for that is that 1080p upscale to 2.5K is like a 134% upscale instead of an upscale to 4K, which is like a 200% upscale, which you overstretch what you are upscaling, and you might actually get like a less good detailed video and actually get a more softer video out instead of getting a nice video. And also with 4K scaling down, it's instead of scaling to 50%, it's scaling down to 67%, and still give you enough space to play around with. Another thing, and one major thing that you do need to change is this preview file format. Change this to GoPro Cineform. This the reason for this is the preview file format is when you add like effects to your videos and you want to do a pre-render or a preview render by hitting enter on your keyboard. It will render out red areas that is on the timeline, and it will make it yeah, be able to see those effects. And also it will save the file somewhere yeah, on your hard drive. And the GoPro Cineform is a uncompressed format. It's also much faster to render and also quite fast to preview. So it's also it's a uniform. Also, the GoPro Cineform is kind of universal between also Windows and on the Mac. So you don't have like issue with like ProRes or other kind of codecs that it's only like dedicated to Mac or dedicated to Windows. So this setting is okay, and now we can press OK. Now we have the timeline over here. Now we can double click here to open clip, and when we double click here we see the preview screen. We can also just quickly scroll through by dragging our mouse over the clip, just enable us to see like a quick preview of the video. And once we have double clicked here, we can just view the video. And we're just going to search for shots that we want. Of course, there's quite a lot of shots we need to scrub through now. So that's like an interesting shot. So here we have the in and the out mark. You can press it here or use the I and the O on your keyboard. So here going out like that. So marked the in and out. The reason for that is instead of dragging the entire clip onto here, we can mark it in and out, so we can pre-cut or trim the videos already before we drag it onto the timeline. And we can also drag either the video or the audio or both of the video and audio. To drag both of the video and audio, we just drag from the clip itself. So you can see here, there's one on top and one on bottom. So we have both the video and audio. Because this is a 1080p, it will ask this, and can turn this off and just keep existing settings. And we can move this here. And we can see this is like a 1080p, and we need to upscale this to 134. And also a quick thing to do this, make this clip slow-mo, we can press Command R to get this window. And here type quickly 50 to make this into a slightly slow-mo video. We don't really need to be that long, and can also search through all of these. But first, actually more important than all these clips, sorting the clips, we need to get the audio for this video. So personally, I've already have like a folder with all kinds of music. It's kind of messy here, but there are few clips here because it's an event which isn't, it's more like a network event, so we don't want something too fast of a track and not too boring also. So let's listen here. It's okay, but maybe too slow. No, this one's too slow. I think this one was pretty okay actually. Slightly happier than this one. Actually, let's do this. Remember, just drag it here into the project bin, and you can drag it here onto the timeline. You can drag it over that sound because we don't really need that sound. And because we're not going to make a 3-minute video, we're going to make at least a 1-minute video instead. So we're going to listen to this song and find like a part where we can cut it. So this starting bit is quite slow. So I might not want to have it fully from the start. Yeah, let's start from here. To cut this, we can actually either choose to drag this to make it smaller, or we can also cut it. Personally, what I like to use is Command K or Control K on Windows. On Mac is Command K, and we cut the clip here. There's also an option to use the C and cut it manually, but yeah, personally I find that a little bit slow too, and also sometimes it doesn't really want to, or you kinda can get messy with this tool and cut stuff that you didn't want to cut. So let's change that back by hitting V. You can also select an area like this and right mouse click and ripple delete, so it can actually push everything forward. So we don't really want to have these banners as the start directly, so we want to move this aside, go back to clip. Remember that night I had like a nice pan down somewhere like this. So and then quickly, I think the last one should be fine. So it should be like a few seconds holding there. And drag this onto the timeline here. This we also slowed down to 50%. Actually don't know how that pan will look like, or the tilt would look like slow-mo. That doesn't look. That's just when we start. Let's make a cut, Command K. Just when it stops, can cut it here. And move this. Really, you need to listen carefully where the audio is, and so the audio's there, there, this out. This one we want to have the pan at regular speed, because be more normal, and we can also later speed it up if we want to. Actually, might want to directly speed this up. Make this 200 or maybe even 400. We see here, this is a new thing with Adobe. It shows you where something overlaps. So we can actually cut this part off. You can see also the overlapping missing here. And it's a good way to show you. Sometimes it overlaps. I'm not quite sure why with what we just did that it overlapped, but it sometimes show you like that there's like double footage. Okay, that was a little bit too fast. I want that to be at 200. This in, and we're still like at the opening, so showing basically location shots here. Another thing we can do is, because I shot it with letterboxing in mind a little bit, add a letterbox, and that is, let's see, that is a transparent video. Oh no, that's a black video. Effects, presets. We have letterboxing here, 2.35, or the 21:9 is the normal one that I use. So drag this black video over here and put this here. Now we can go to the next clip. So it's this. Oh, no. That was not correct. Can do it slower by 50, and here I need the 145. Okay, so sponsors. So we're listening to the claps and the beats. There are people out there probably rather do pre-mark their songs. I'm okay with not needing to do that, because I just directly work and add a clip and listen to the next beat, which for me personally I find that is like how I like to work with. Also, we can also already add my logo. So I've like made a personal folder here, and with my logo in PNG format, and already made a preset for it, so I don't need to change that every time, and also make sure that it's always at the same spot. You know what? Actually, yeah. Instead of doing this black video, I can change the timeline, because this video doesn't have really an end card to it. So I can go to this sequence here, change sequence settings. I'm going to change this to 1080p. This makes this like a really weird number, but basically this is 21:9 setting. I'm going to press OK. We'll change that. Change this to 100% or 75. And we have like a different one for that. So a different preset for that. Okay. Let's see. Stretch that to the other beat. And go to the next clip. Okay, I have like a better shot of that. Like without actually people in the shot. And also slow that down and change that up. So that is quite a long pan, as you can see. And we can do something quite interesting between here. So instead of instead of annoying myself the whole time with changing those shots sizes, we can actually change this. Okay, now okay, just going to change the shot size the entire time, and from here we cut. Here should be okay. This one we're going to speed up by, I think, 1,000 times. And also we're going to change here to frame blending. It will add a kind of motion blur to it. So here we see a red line for the first time. We're now going to hit enter on the keyboard to do a pre-render. It's pretty quick, and it will add that motion blur that previously wasn't actually in the shot. So we'll just do like a quick pan, and actually I don't really like that, because we can actually slow down this footage even more. Then it'd be better. You can change this to 2000. Okay. Let's do frame blending. Also hit enter again. Okay. So we have people waiting in line. Hey, that's the photographer also taking photos while I'm taking videos, so I need to kind of look out when he's taking a shot. I like this shot because I'm adding kind of a fake slider shot because I'm just doing handheld, not really doing like professionally. These people walking away isn't that interesting. It's not a pretty shot. This one should do. It's a different angle. And we're making this slightly slow. Should be enough. Then the boat should be arriving and people getting onto the boat. I have here actually a shot without the boat. Maybe extend this song again. We don't need to have like really long shot of this clip. This should be like a nice opener. Also can add like a cross dissolve by hitting Command D. Command D or Control D is like a default transition you can use, and often that be set to cross dissolve, so it makes it quite easy to add a cross dissolve quickly. It's okay. Let's see, we have here people going up the stairs. We have like a nice other wide shot. The people waiting in line. Should be fine there. Oh, that's a really short bit. Slow that down. Want to do like a zoom effect here, and can use the seamless transition to transition from this shot over to here, like zooming out, giving it a little bit of an interesting effect. So because both of them are a slowed down clip, or actually not the same as a timeline, we're going to nest these clips. Actually we just cut them out to 15, or actually quicker, 10 frames here. Do a quick cut. So to remember also with the smooth transition, you don't need to have them on every shot. You just need to find like an interesting spot where you can use them to transition from one to another, where it also quite make a lot of sense that it happens. So go to the presets here, transitions, seamless transitions, zoom. We're going to nest each of them first. So right mouse click on the clip, nest, press OK. So we'll just zoom out, in, and zoom out. I'm not really going to use the bottom ones, and can hit preview render. Can see the transitioning here. It's pretty okay. It's kind of only odd that this kind of from this angle instead of this angle, but I can no, it's okay. I'm fine with this transition like that. Let's go to the next clip. So we have people already moving up. So I have people here walking, and me also walking with them going up. I didn't brought a gimbal with me, so, and this happy hour beef is not part of the event, so we're going to avoid that and go straight to here. Just need a few seconds here. It's gonna be shaky. I'm not going to do any warp stabilize on it though. However, because we're going to slow it down, it should actually make it more stable. So also for everybody been looking, the slowdown, what I do is Command R and then I change the speed. You can also right mouse click here and change the speed and duration. Personally, I just pressed Command R and or Control R and just change the percentage here to 50. And change this to 34. From here looks better. second clap. Then look further here. Here I should be able to walk smoother. Okay, so without the guy blocking, it looks better here. Also slow this down. And actually make a transition here, because this hard cut doesn't look that interesting, and I don't think I have anything. Oh, I do have like maybe a shot I can put. Actually, the shot should only make sense if I put before here. So I also have a shot of the boat arriving. That's over here. So I caught it quite on time that it's arriving. However, because I'm doing this handheld, I need to search for a nice spot here, because can't really show it as like a time lapse because it's not smooth enough for that. So it's here. And also one thing I can cheat is I can probably do this video in reverse, and looks like it's, I don't know, if I do it reverse, the water from the engine would look weird. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense. Okay, so I don't have like a shot that I could use for moving out. Maybe just this part that I'm actually already using. That could be like a reverse out of the port or out of the harbor. So we can reverse this. Put somewhere after. So that's this, an interesting trick to use. Oh, let's try 4. That looks like that it's moving away. Yeah, and also the person throwing the rope looks okay there. Okay, then this, that it's arriving, we can use then this part. So person throwing a rope here. The rope section is quite interesting, I think. That's 34. Let's look what we have now. we're going to use a Luma fade here to fade into the next shot. So going to effects, transition, the Luma fade transition, and this is an out, and want it to be from light to dark. I don't know what the heck is going on here. Let's remove that. Let's see. This is in. Or is it because we have nested it? That's probably it. Nesting it. Light to dark out. So now it's correctly. Actually, I might find it more interesting if it was the other way around. Cut it here. So nest this first. And dark to light in. Let's see what we've got now. See. Maybe change that. Try another one. Okay. We should also have like them going on board, or me actually waiting for people to walk past here. So we have like a better. I don't mind him looking into the camera. If he wants to be in shot, he got to be in the video. Then we have the actual shot walking in. And here we see the big company, Collab Hong Kong. And that's and then we should have shots of people walking in. I was also still on board for the second run, so I should have like a second time they got in. Oh, I forgot, I also have like entire shots of the boat without the people. Yeah, so this walking on shots, all these walking on board shots, I might need to move these further down. Because it's not that often that you can grab some shots of the boat without anybody on board. I've got like some fake slider shots that I did handheld. Let's look fine. Might slow it down. Yeah, slow it down, and also it's like this. Okay. Now one more over here. It's also a nice shot. Because these shots you don't want to show somewhere in the middle of the video, because this is an event video and it would look weird that suddenly it's empty. Because this now looks like the boat is arriving, it's still empty and clean. Just before the hectic is going to start at this party. So hopefully time for the rest won't be weird. Okay, yeah, the beats are all not correct. So move this off and this like here. So the rhythm actually increased. Second time around, after got empty here, I've got these shots to show the people that are arriving. So that one can't use because people are also leaving in that shot. I think this one should do. How long have we been recording yet? Recorded for like an hour now. People getting in. The second one is also quite nice because I'm panning down and then moving in. Okay, people leaving in that shot, so that's not okay. Let's see what else we've got. Okay, we have here speech. So yeah, I didn't bring any mic with me, so the audio is not going to be good, but we're just going to make it as if he's just doing an opening speech. Okay, just going to do this. So we have like a story going on. So basically have the establishing of location, also establishing where people are. So at start of February, the sponsors of the event, people lining up for their party, getting the tickets or signing in, then the boat arriving where they're going, still empty, still clean, and people finally going up for the boat. So this we can cut early. We don't need him to say thank you to the camera, just that he is just talking. Need to move this. Don't need to be that long, but I want to keep the part that he's still talking. There. Should be fine. Okay, and actually in the background we already saw the boat moving, so need to move this up front. boat leaving and him giving the speech. Then we have another shot of, or a shot from just looking out, or actually people looking outside. Checking out the view. Hope this doesn't look like a jump cut. Here. So editing like these kind of videos is gonna take quite a long time. Honestly, if you look at the image quality, I didn't really did like with a really professional lens that night. Was with the 21 2.8, so it was actually slightly on the dark side. So you actually everything gets noisy and mushy with the A7R2 at night with high ISO. I could have set it to Super 35, but then I wouldn't get as wide of a shots that I needed. See what else we have here. People moving weirdly. Not that much going on here. Let's find a nice shot. Just a quick pan around. See what else we have here. Another section of the boat. So a slow pan. That's pretty much showing the interior. Because honestly, it's a networking event, so it's not that much going on than people sitting around and talking. There is like a band, and there's also a tattoo artist. And actually, let's grab one of the Collab Asia shots logo. And also this roll movements, all done by hand. It's quite easy to do by hand actually. I've done it so many times. And the main thing is though, shoot at 50p or 60p so you can slow it down. Mainly slowing it down makes it smoother. Because if we just play it at real speed, let's make it also will fit the frame. It's usable, but I'd rather slow it down. And there should be more shots. Oh, this is arriving back at the harbor. Let's see. Okay, here this the tattoo artist. Okay, got like several tattoo shots here. Here we've got the band. What else is here going on? So yeah, personally, it was a networking event. I'm not really that much of a networking person. Actually, I have to say that night I didn't actually given away that much cards, and yeah, was more interested in trying out the camera. Be quick. Let's see. Take us. Yeah, there wasn't really that much space for that. Okay, so let's grab when he removes the tattoo, or remove the plastic from the fake tattoos. A7 had a little bit difficulty trying to capture that autofocus, but it's one of the main sponsors, so still kind of got it. I have like a bigger angle of his poster. Was that it? Yeah. Then some close up of the tats. Two of these shots. Goes out of focus when I move out, so we're going to reverse this shot, so it looks like it goes in focus and when I move in. So yeah, a lot of trickery going on. And I guess half speed. Oh, do frame blending. Didn't need to do frame blending. Needed to do reverse speed. Then we have like this tattoo being pasted on his on Andrew Ng's head. It's quite actually this this person here, the bald guy. You actually might have noticed him in quite a lot of movies, also Hollywood movies. If you watch Ghost in the Shell, he is actually an extra in the background in one of the scenes, and also quite a lot of other movies. So I'm actually going to try and actually interview him in the future. Grab like an interesting interview with him. This is not like a one go thing here, like the other tattoo. Because it also moves his head. Yeah, it should be fine. Now, get some of the people taking picture shots while having fun, drinking. One more frame for the flash. Okay. And use that flash like a quick transition. And we have here the band playing. Another band playing shots. Okay, here's a nicer fake slider shots. Okay, move this over here. I actually have like shots filming out. Nice B-rolls put in between. This one also slowed down. Yeah, that's not a nice look for. So I'll better not post that. And see, grab a. Wow, it's actually focused on the reflection on the guitar instead of the strings or his arm. It can happen. Let's see. Might want this water shot somewhere more at the end. I actually have like plenty of other shots also. Let's change this to slow-mo. Let's be slightly more interesting. What else we got? People leaving. Got the second round with more people actually taking photos, people talking. This is a famous comedian here in Hong Kong. It's actually, it's actually able to speak Cantonese fluently, which is pretty cool. Let's see what else. There's people on their phone sitting. Grab that at the flash there, and see. Quite difficult lighting that night actually. Either like here under some lights they're super bright and otherwise be super dark. Overall, yeah. But here got like nice interaction even though it's overblown. Might be able to save it a little bit. Let's see if shadow and highlights inside of Lumetri give me some option to lower this a little bit. So highlights, not really, just slightly, but it's not really doing much. Then darkening it. Just that's the back of people. Here we have somebody. Slow that down also. Yes, because she has like the brightest face here, the camera kept on focusing on her. Couldn't get it to focus on him instead, that with autofocus. So kinda, yeah, doesn't matter, but that's let's see what else do we got. Some people making fun here. Honestly, that night there were few pretty girls there, but they were doing Facebook Live or China Live stuff, so I didn't really want to get involved with those. It's kind of weird with the live stuff, and it's kind of odd also trying to talk with live people because they keep on holding their phone live broadcasting, or you're introducing yourself to a person. It's also, you don't really have their full attention because they be pretty much looking at their phone comments the whole time. Yeah, it's kind of odd. It's not really my thing. That one I already grabbed. And here. Okay, this shot's probably can start showing some. Actually, I think this would be probably best as an ending shot than a shot for someone here. Pretty much we have also a lot of these shots. What is this? I'm taking a shot of a person trying to grab a shot outside. I cut it here, it doesn't need to be that long. Pretty much me dangerously sticking my head out of the window here. And reframe it a little bit. Listen. There. There's another one here, but this shot, just because there's a lot of people in the background to make it look like a busy event. Or it was pretty busy, but somehow I think a lot of people went downstairs, which not quite sure was there because I didn't go downstairs. This shot. Yeah, I don't think the shots of people getting off board is gonna be that interesting. See the second round. Yeah, I do here. That's a fake jib shot, which didn't pan out what I wanted to be. Slider shots, but it was focusing on him instead of the background, which didn't help. Oh, this is a nice shot. I totally forgot about this one. It's a fake slider shot, but it's leaving the harbor. So we can actually move this front somewhere. Replace a shot. Okay, this shots we can replace with this one. More recognizable also as leaving the harbor. This one. I don't think we need this one. So with this we can already at 50. Extend this. This here. I don't think we need to have the people leaving the boat, so I think this should be enough. Already actually gone past 2 minutes, and yeah, there isn't really that much show here. See again, there's quite a lot of shots here. Waiting for the thing to go down, and then the door. Okay, and should have here. Oh, there was like an extra shot I remember of something, them getting close to the harbor. And then we can end with this like as the final shot. Or this one. It's a recognizable background for a lot of Hong Kong locals that were getting close to the harbor or arriving at the harbor. This down. That'd be enough, and POV walking out. No, don't need that. Here we have, okay, nice, pretty girl waving by. And yeah. Four. Can stretch this one out. So I used R and then like drag it out to stretch it, so it will slow it down a little bit. As you can see, it's gone to 87.5% instead of the full 50%. And yeah, pretty much that. Oh no, POV. I actually have way more people taking photos. Any special? No. I just walked out, and okay, here we have this POV. Yeah. Let's leave it here. Let's actually search for the event. Hey, where's the event tab? Oh, here. Events. Calendar. Pause events. Start up ferry. Okay, so Control or press the T or Control T to directly make a text, and really copied Startup Ferry 2018. hashtag collab Asia, and we're going to this down. There. And I'm going to use and Control D to add a cross dissolve, and on the bottom one, not on my logo. Whoa. No. And on here also cross dissolve. Let's save it with Control S before this crashes, because sometimes it will on certain computers. Mine not that really, but so you rather be safe than sorry, even though it will auto save from time to time. And this text, we want to move this all the way in the middle. We want to change the text a little bit here. Change this in the center. This here in the middle. Use a nice font. Use Gotham. Book. Maybe make that instead of book. Use the medium. Actually go to Gotham black. No, black's too much. Gotham bold. That's fine. And a drop shadow. Lessen this at this part and feather it further out. Okay, let's select that, and also this cross dissolve start earlier, and yeah, let's add a cross dissolve. Don't really want to do any special. And here we want to, at the end, we want to add an exponential fade, because the song just otherwise abruptly cut off here. So here we have an exponential fade. We can actually type in exponential fade, but personally I've already made a quick list here to quickly use a lot of things. And we're going to move this also pretty, drag it long out. Okay, so we can see the entire video once. There's like a weird jump there. See what's happening. Is it because chairs? Is it like a weird jump shot, or? Oh, it's because it's not on a beat or something. Beat is here. Oh, because there's like double beats going on. Let's take the latter one. I think we might need to add a transition here. And here we just use a smooth slide, or yeah, seamless slide or seamless pan. So need to nest both these. And nest. Add a not Luma, seamless, and the switch pans, pan to the right. So pan right in, pan right out. Actually, let's make this a spin transition. Clockwise in and clockwise out. Huh. Twice in, twice out. Let's pre-render those. Still weird. Because like it's a 180-degree rule thing going on here, which normally wouldn't be much of a issue for compilation, but not quite sure why it doesn't seem to add up here. Maybe do a zoom out here. Zoom out in and zoom out. Okay, that's better. Luma Fade is a bit pushed there. Wasn't really needed. Or Actually, instead of doing this lumifade, it's probably better if we did the zoom in here. Cut it here. That's this. Zoom in and zoom in out. Tilt up maybe be better. Switch pan, tilt up in and tilt up out. If we do a tilt down instead, though make no sense, but maybe looks interesting. Yeah, actually looks better. Okay, so you see suddenly there's a bit of lag going on. That's the hard drive not keeping up, or SSD not really keeping up loading so many in one go. So if I would have used HDD would be even worse, but the title can get in a little bit earlier. Okay. So now we can render, we because there's nothing here behind us or behind this, we can just directly select this here. Always need to select this window or this section here before we render. Then go here to export media. I need to wait for it a little bit to load. And here I've actually gotten presets. You can actually go and download the preset. There's actually in the link in the description below, there are presets to these YouTube export presets. And pretty much just load this preset and we're pretty much done. Make sure use preview is turned on, because we've already did preview render of some of the effects, so it doesn't have to do this twice. And make sure you render to where you want it to be. So I have my YouTube publish video, and so it's start up ferry. (2018) save, and now just press export to export. We can also put it in a queue if we have like a lot of videos to export, but personally yeah, I just directly export from here, because if you queue it up, you actually go into Adobe encoder, media encoder, and you render through there. And personally I find it easier just to directly render from here. It's not going to take that long, so it's like a 2-minute video, and the render is also be about 2 minutes also. So just mainly have to wait for it to be done, and then we can see the final result. So mainly with editing videos, event videos like these, you can do it within a few hours. It's not that hard. There's not too many too many things you need to follow. Depends on of course who outputs it. Me filming it myself, I know like most of the shots I still remember. I didn't drink any alcohol that night, so I should remember most of the shots. And also having, I can also see like using the 21mm f2.8 at night with the H7R2, it's not really getting that much good quality image. There's quite a lot of noise because I'm pushing the ISO to ISO 3200 or ISO 4000, so that's actually quite on the edge where the footage starts to get grainy and mushy. And I'm using a custom Cine 2 profile which kind of mimics the Canon colors a little bit. It's okay, it looks quite okay. I don't really need to do any extra grading on top. Personally, for these videos I don't really want to do much grading anyways, and because it's also a nighttime shot, you don't really want to use the S-Log because it should be more noisy than using the standard profiles or Cine 2 or Cine 4. And 1 more minute to go. So another thing is I'm recording with Screenflow, because Screenflow is, I found it's one of the least heaviest programs out there, so it can quite do a long recording without it being too heavy or too takes up too much power, and alter or get like really laggy editing. While I've tried it with QuickTime, and QuickTime would actually be very, very heavy trying to record the screen, and especially this Screenflow is already recording, like this is a 5K image that it's literally recording, while with the QuickTime it's actually quite heavy for it. I haven't looked at any other screen recordings, but I paid for a Screenflow, so I've got this software and it works quite well. It's still the older version, because for the new update version you have to pay, so didn't really want to pay extra. Well, I already have like a good recording software that I need. So now we can check actually the final video. Go to YouTube published. You can see the final result. Okay, so that was it. Editing from start to finish, slightly more than 2 hours editing and also copying files over, and yeah, choosing a song and everything. So yeah, hope you guys found this video quite interesting, seeing me editing an entire video from literally start to finish and outputting and rendering it out. So if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button here below, and I'll see you guys the next time. Bye bye.